Hello everyone. I am on the day of editing this video. Actually, while I was editing this video, and I have to post this video today, the video is of like 45 to 50 minutes, and I don't want wrap up video to be this long because the wrap ups are kind of boring. Like, I feel like they are boring, so I don't want it to be this long, so I will be doing two parts. This wasn't my plan when I was filming it, so yeah, this will be the first part, and the second part will be coming soon. And the thing is, I just got vaccinated today, like on the day of posting it, and I am not feeling good. Like, my hand, this hand is like paining like hell. So maybe the video will be late, very late, or maybe it will be posted tomorrow. I don't know. So we'll see about that. But this is the first part, and the second part will be coming soon. Yeah. Hello everyone, this is Rashi and welcome back to the Reading Platter. May was a crazy month. I was posting 3 times a week and it was so hectic, but I was enjoying it. And I read 12 books that were on my TBR and some extra books. So this is the month I read the most this year, and I enjoyed it. But yes, it was a little crazy, a too much crazy month. But I got some reading done. But yes, there were some books that I really wanted to read that did not come up on my TBR. Actually, this month I did 4 TBR games for each week, and I did not know my TBR beforehand. I just got to know it when I was filming my TBR video. So that was really crazy. I wasn't prepared for any of the book that came up. So that was fun. That was enjoyable. So yeah, now let's see what my wrap up was. So, the first book that I read was The One Great Norm by Jeff DiNardo, and this is an Ed Kelly arc that I received, an audiobook arc, and I loved it. This was a middle grade and it was published in 2020. The audiobook released in 2020, the end of 2020 or maybe 2021. I don't remember, like it was mentioned in the audiobook, but I don't remember it. It was like I think it was 2021. But talking about the story, talking about the plot, it was very nice. The story follows a girl who finds a norm, and he is turned to stone. Like there's a thing like his sword is taken away from him, so he now cannot move. Like, if he gets his sword back, then only he can come to life. So she helps him. They go to his world and they solve the mysteries there. They defeat the enemies, they find new friends, and she finds like the one great norm there, and she discovers a lot of new things. It was very nice. Like, it was so much middle grade. Like, it was a perfect children's literature. But yes, the adults will definitely enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It was such a fun, such a refreshing, such a short read. It was so good. The narrator, talking about the narrator, she was awesome. She was just awesome. I talked about her. Talked about all the details in the week 1 blog that I did, that I will link here so you can check out like the whole review. And the book has illustrations too, but I don't know because I had the audiobook, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I rated it a 5 star. I loved it. I recommend it. Do read it. The next book that I read was Ikigai by Hector Garcia and Francesc something M. Francesc M. I don't remember the whole name. I'm really sorry. But this was a non-fiction self-help book. It is about a Japanese secret to find something that keeps you alive, that keeps you active, to live a long life. um it had really good points, the points that Western people will find really interesting, because these points are like 70 to 80% of these points are very very known to like Indian and Japanese people. It is like taught to them like from the very first, and it is all from our culture. And like this book mentions very good points, but I, being an Indian, I knew like most of the points. Like it wasn't boring, but it wasn't interesting as well. Of course it was a non-fiction, I cannot like expect so many good things from it, but it, yes, it gave good message. The thing is, the book gave like the story of a person, uh, and was explaining how she or he lived his life, and how all these things are used to find Ikigai. So all these things you can use to find your Ikigai. But the thing is that it was a lot like biography and not self-help. Like but you know what, it was not boring. I completely read it, I did not DNF it, which was a great thing because I'm not good with non-fiction books. And it was my 5-star prediction, but I rated it a 3 star. So yes, of course it was not a complete 5 star, but I wasn't bored. It was short, it was quick, and audiobook made it a lot more easier to go through, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like you know telling you to do stuff and telling you that whatever you're doing is wrong. It just told you that how can you amend those things, how you can change a little bit. Like the things you are doing are correct, but if you change a little, like not doing like completely this way, if you do this way, not completely like that way, but this way, um it will be helpful. So I liked that thing. It wasn't like making you feel bad about yourself, which a lot of non-fiction and self-help books do. It was a good self-help book. Like I recommend it to people, like to everyone. It was really nice and interesting and fun, and like not like the boring non-fictions that you can't even pick up, but it was good, I liked it. So yeah, it deserves a 3-star rating. So the next book that I read was Beach Read by Emily Henry, and this is contemporary romance. I loved it in the beginning. This story follows two authors, and both of them were classmates, but they the heroine's father just died, and she was devastated. So she moved somewhere where she meets her classmate, and he's also a writer. So the story revolves around their story and how they met and fell in love. I love this book in the beginning. The middle part was very, you know, meh types. But from like 27th or 28th chapter, it started developing more, and it had some fun parts, some very much some good parts that will keep you interested in the plot, interested in the story. I was loving the ending. I rated it 5 stars. It was so good. In the middle, I was confused about rating it 4 or 5, but the ending was perfect, and I decided to give it a 5 stars. This is a standalone, but I really, really love this book, and I really want it to be a series. Like maybe a series about some other character, or maybe from the viewpoint of the hero. That will be a good idea, I think, because I'm very much interested to know hero side of the version of the story. And it was really fun reading it. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it. It was 5-star read for me, and I'm so happy that the books till now are pretty good as compared to April. Like we cannot compare any month with April, but yes, it was good. I really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. It is the second book in the Harry Potter series. It is a YA fantasy fiction and it was 300 plus pages long. This was a part of my week 2 TBR. I love the book. This book carries on with Harry Potter's journey, his struggles, and how he won over the evil. And it was amazing. I love Rowling's writing. To be honest, I have loved all her books. I have read like 4 books by her and I have rated all of them 5 and Harry Potter series 5 plus. So I am excited to get to the third one. But this book, the characters were so good. And we were introduced to new characters and we got to know our villain, and we got to see him, and it was amazing. It was so nice. It was so nicely written. I had the audiobook for this one. I bought it to just speed up the reading process and it helped me. The audiobook was really good. It was narrated very nicely. The accent was British, so I had a little, problem in understanding because I could not increase the speed and the speed was very slow. But I really enjoyed the narrative and I also enjoyed the book. I was reading the book side by side, like some chapters and some I was listening to while working. So but I really enjoyed this book. It was very nice. I rated it 5 plus stars. Highly recommended. I know you must have read this series. I am the late one here, so but still, if you haven't, then I recommend this to you. It was really nice. Next book that I read was Stealing Iris by Sahara Roberts. This is an arc I received from book Sirens. It is the first book in the series. I don't remember the name of the series. It was a short read. It was really short. The chapters were short and it was told from 3 perspectives: our hero, heroine, and the villain. And this was really heartbreaking at first. Like the second and third chapter, I have talked about this in my vlog and I will link that video here so you can check it out. It was heartbreaking. It was painful. It had a rape scene and it was just so heartbreaking, so sad, but the rest of the story was worth it. It was good. I rated it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I have the second arc too. Looking forward to dive into the series. This is mafia dark romance, but I didn't feel it was mafia. Maybe the continuation of the series will show that, but it was mainly romance and saving the heroine. It wasn't mafia. The work that our actor did was mafia, but nothing much was mentioned about it in the story. So yes, it was dark romance, I will agree to that, but a little bit on the mafia side. But talking about the story, I loved the writing, I loved the characters, I loved how the villain's perspective was also told, and I loved how the story was falling into place at the end. Like our hero was going like he was getting to know the truth, and there were 1-2 parts when it wasn't making sense, but if the story is good then we can ignore that. So I rated it a 5 star. I enjoyed my time with this one. I highly recommend this book, and if I love the series then definitely will recommend the series. 3 books in the series are out yet and I have 2 books. First I have read, the second also I have the arc for. I don't have the third one. Book Sirens do not have the third arc for this book, but I really want it. So it is already published, so I don't think the arc will be like uploaded there. So yeah, I wanted to buy this book, but the book is like so expensive, like 500 rupees for a book with less than 200 pages, it is too much. Like $500 for a book is just too much. It is very expensive, so I'm not going to buy it. Maybe I'll wait for some time to pass so that its price drops, or maybe I'll buy the ebook, of course, ebook or audiobook. Maybe I'll receive the arc, I don't know. But the arc is very difficult because it is already published, so yeah, we'll see to that. And yeah, highly recommended, you'll enjoy this. The next book I want to talk about is an arc that I received from NetGalley, The Diamond Rose by Daniela Valenti. I DNF'd it. I tried to read it after third chapter when I first DNF'd it, but I wasn't getting interested in the story. This is the first book in a 12 book series, so I wasn't anyway going to continue with the series. So yes, and I didn't even like the first one to be able to think of continuing the series. But like, I love the idea behind the book, like how the story was to be done but not done. It wasn't presented in a good way. It was all dialogues and no work. It was definitely everything like in dialogue form, and like everything was being agreed to in just seconds. Like suddenly you discover that you have powers, and then someone comes in there at the same moment and he tells you that you are a part of a team and you have to come, and you said okay, I'll come with you. Like, I wasn't getting the story, the plot, but yeah, the idea was very nice. But yes, it wasn't for me, so I DNF'd it. It was the first DNF of this month. I hope I don't have others. So the next book that I read was Pax Samson Volume 1, The Cookout. And this is the first book in the Pax Samson series. And yes, it is a trilogy, and it is written by Rashad. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, so it is a middle grade graphic novel, and this was not on my TBR. I just picked it up because I had one day free, like every week. So I picked it up on 14th and I completed it on 15th, maybe 15th or 16th. So that's not the point. We are talking about the review here. So I rated it a 3-star. I just think that I was old, like very old, to read this story. It is very good middle grade, but I don't think adults will enjoy it much because it is more of a children's literature kind. Like, there are heroes, they fight, and the stories are short. It is divided into 5 chapters, each chapter following a different adventure, but every chapter is linked. And it is very early middle grade kind of. So it was like not my type. I enjoy superhero novels and books, but the thing is, it was like very obvious from the very start. So I just adore the illustrations. They were so good. They were just so nice. Like, if the illustrator had to show a person is far away, like he or she, I don't remember the name of the illustrator, I'm so sorry, but I respect your art so much. So he or she drew a small figure, but the figure was so clear that you could identify who, like which character it is. So I just love the illustrations. It was so good, and the story, like the thought behind the story was really nice, but it was very very obvious. Like, it was a basic superhero story. I will recommend this book if you want to like look at the illustrations, or if you want a short read. It is just a 1-day read. If you want a short read, a quick read, and superheroes, or maybe something very light, so you can definitely pick it up. Yeah, but I am excited to continue with the series. This is an arc I received from NetGalley. It is to come out in August 2021, so it is not published yet, but yes, it was really nice. I definitely recommend this. I am interested in the series. Yeah, so yeah, this is it for today's video, and I hope you have a good day. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and we'll meet in the next one.